My name's Pete Woods, you're watching Hexham TV. Who are you?
I'm Wes Streeting, I'm Labour's Shadow Secretary of State for Health and Social Care, and I'm here in Hexham today campaigning for Joe Morris, our brilliant parliamentary candidate for the general election, and also speaking at Hexham's Books Festival about my childhood memoir, One Boy, Two Bills and a Fry Up. So that's this evening's activity. Right now I'm about to go out knocking on doors for Joe, talking to local residents, hearing their concerns to take back to Keir and the rest of the Labour team, and helping Joe get elected here in Hexham.
So how winnable do you think Hexham is as a constituency?
It absolutely is. It's obviously had a substantial Conservative representation here for some time. It's not going to be easy, and we're certainly not complacent despite the fantastic election results we got right across the country over recent days in the local elections. But Hexham is one of those constituencies that will decide who governs the country after the next general election. So people's votes here in Hexham really matter, and they could be the difference between sending Joe Morris to Parliament as your Labour MP with a Labour government giving our country the change it needs, and I think people are calling out for, or another 4 or 5 years of the nightmare on Downing Street with an unprecedented 5th Conservative term where, with the best will in the world with Rishi Sunak, the chaos, the division is going to continue. And if I were a betting man, even if the Conservatives did beat the odds and Rishi did win another term for the Conservatives, he wouldn't last 5 minutes before they replace him with yet another Conservative leader. And I think for the Conservative Party, the worst is still to come. So I really hope people in Hexham give change a chance with Labour and give Keir and the changed Labour Party we have now the chance to deliver the change our country needs, whether that's dealing with the economy and the cost of living crisis, or crucially from my perspective, getting our NHS back on its feet, making sure it's fit for the future, delivering the 2 million more appointments we need to cut waiting lists, doubling the number of scanners, making sure we've got mental health support in every community and support in every school to tackle the mental health crisis. Those are just some of our fully costed, fully funded NHS policies. But in order for people to get change, they have to vote for it. I think the country did that on Thursday in all of those mayoral and local elections. But we're not taking anything for granted. The general election is still to come.
Wes, my wife is a hard-working nurse at Hexham Hospital, as Shadow Health Secretary, and hopefully for you, Health Secretary in the future. What message do you have to the staff working at Hexham Hospital and other hospitals around the region?
Well, firstly, a massive thank you to the staff in the NHS. They are busting a gut. They are working against incredibly challenging and I think intolerable conditions. There are lots of occasions where I think staff feel like they've done their best and they go home at the end of the day feeling not only knackered but pretty downbeat because they feel their best isn't good enough. They're seeing patients still not receiving the timely access to quality care they deserve, and staff often feel powerless because the difficulties in the NHS are often beyond their control. And that's why I think we do need change with the Labour government, a changed approach with the Labour government. Because you look at our record, when we were last in, we delivered the shortest waiting times, the highest patient satisfaction in history. We did it before, we can do it again, but we need people to back that change by voting Labour at the general election. So I hope NHS staff will do that, and I hope people who care about the NHS will also be out doing that too.
Wes Streeting, Shadow Health Secretary. Thanks for talking to Hexham TV.
No, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.